Welcome to another episode. Well, it's a first episode. Yayo Sport Unlocked. Igama Simtho Dladla. Well, ngiwona ama podcast esowenza throughout the year. This is our first episode, and also ubusujwayele ukubona ukuthi masenza lento sivamise ukuthi sibiza abantu that will join us. But since it's our first episode, ingakho ngicela sithathe uAyanda wakanyuswa just to discuss ukuqala kweseason and also the first cup final okuyiyona is MTN 8. We'll go through especially kuona ama teams and also ama signings akhona. As we move forward, you find out ukuthi noSamkelo will also be joining us la kwiSport Unlocked. News, all right, God?
Banakho grand wena.
Hayi, kancane but sogcina sifikile. It's a new season. Where last season we saw Mamelodi Sundowns ingaphazamisa umuntu. We've seen Orlando Pirates winning 2 cups last season. Manje enye season. 2 games osudlaliwe. Are you convinced ngendlela amaqembu aqale ngayo, especially Mamelodi Sundowns?
An interesting start to season Mgabadeli. Masibuka nje indlela ama team adlale ngayo. I think apart from Sundowns, angasho nje ukuthi it's more of the same based on esikubone last season, but masikhuluma ngeSundowns yona specifically, it hasn't been that convincing, I'll be honest. Indlela abadlale ngayo, yes, they did get some win lao too, against the second one was against the Chiefs, but I think indlela abadlale ngayo, even Sundowns fans are not entirely happy. Ngeke usho ukuthi it's a change of system because basadlala ngendlela efanayo. It's just the fact ukuthi abajeli kahle ngendlela esijwayele ngayo, and siyazi ukuthi Sundowns are traditionally very fast starters. Maqala isizini bayawina nje basha i-winning streak from the very beginning, but kulokhu yes bawinile ama game abo, but indlela abadlale ngayo it hasn't been that convincing. Uma sibheka nje like even the game yabo MTN 8 against the Swallows, playing most of the game with a numerical advantage, kodwa bawina ngo-1-0 nakhona futhi bedlala ne-Chiefs bakora sekuyophela umdlalo. So those are very uncharacteristic things Sundowns. When it comes to Sundowns. Siyazi ukuthi ngeke ngisho ukuthi vele bayashaya iChiefs kakhulu. Siyazi ukuthi mabedlala neChiefs they usually end the game very early, but kule game le yabo yokugcina it was very very late, so unconvincing from Sundowns.
And as you said, nami kulama games awu2 engiwabonile. Not too sure ukuthi direction yakhona iphi, but we'll see as time goes. And look at team efana nayo Orlando Pirates last season won 2 cup finals, and also manje makuqala season, well ungasho ukuthi abaqalanga kahle ku DStv Premiership ama games abo kuqala, but now they're starting to pick up game after isikhukhuni nakhona convincingly. But kwisquad sakhona, looking at Orlando Pirates, mawukwazi ukuthi ukhiphe uteam ufaka uMonar, mawukwazi ukuthi ke Orato mabasekhona umfukeni manje uLocho usahleli ngaphandle. Do you think ukuthi Orlando Pirates is the team to beat, or can give him Sundowns a problem going to the season esikuyona?
I think Pirates will be the closest challenger to Sundowns. I don't know how close it's going to be because the season is saqala. We need to remember that ukuthi as much as the Sundowns ingadlali ngalendlela esijwayele ngayo, kodwa ke it's still a couple of games in Pirates, but I do think they are going to be neck on neck with the Sundowns with the season. And angiboni ukuthi kuzokwenzeka lento esiyibone in the last 5 or 6 years. I think it is going to go down to the wire. Ngibona kahle ukuthi ibhakabhaka ilona elizophusha iPirates ngempela, given ama game eswabonile indlela abadlala ngayo, the goals that they are scoring. I think it's 9 in the last 2 games. Okuyinto esingayijwayele ukuyibona kwibhakabhaka, but bakwazi ukuthi bakore. They're having a lot of fun mabedlala. Even Coach Rivero mentioned the fact ukuthi there's that element yokuthi bayathanda ukudlala ndawonye, bayathanda ukudlalela iPirates and play for him as the coach. So I think it's interesting. It's very very exciting times if you're a Pirates fan, given ukuthi lama game eswabonile indlela abadlala ngayo, and also the fact ukuthi they won ama cups out 2 last season. They can still, there's another cup babuyile na kwi-KF futhi, there's the Carling Cup as well, so there's a chance to win more, and most importantly a chance to push Sundowns lapha kwi-league.
Well, Pirates mina mangasi ngayithatha i-league this season, akuyona isizini le ongathi it's just a season for them. It's a well-balanced team in each position, as I said. And also, ucoach ukwazile kuba ne-pre-season with the rest of the team. That's why manje usubona umsebenzi omningi kuyena. Seku ukuhlala and watch ama players enjoying a game, of which is very important with football, to enjoy. Njengoba ucoach abaningi bayasho, boys, go there and enjoy.
And have fun,
But looking at these 2 teams doing well, nayi Kaizer Chiefs coming in, one of the biggest teams in the world. Are you convinced ngesquad sakhona ukuthi they can compete and even challenge for a league?
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi isquad se Chiefs is good enough to challenge or to keep a pace with i-Sundowns ne-Pirates and not be too far off. I-question yakhona sekungaba ucoach ne-system abayidlalayo. Obviously Umlefi Nseki is still new within the Kaizer Chiefs team, so I think it's very unfair ukuthi simjudge manje after ama-games awu-3. Ngicabanga ukuthi naye uzosidinga isikhathi sokuthi abafana bajwayele indlela adlalisa ngayo system yakhe. We still not sure ukuthi yiphi indlela abayidlalayo yabo. It's very hard to analyze the Chiefs ukuthi badlala kanjani yiphi system, so udinga leso sikhathi leso. That's why I think they're probably not in a position to challenge or win the league this season, but ngicabanga ukuthi ukureduce leya gap leya ikhona last season, especially with them ne Sundowns. Ngicabanga ukuthi bangakwenza based on abadlali abakhona nababasayinile. I think especially in the attacking areas they have a lot of depth now, with the likes of Omodi coming in, with the likes of Uchivaviro coming into the team. Those are quality players, and Umlefi Nseki has those players at his disposal. So I think sakulele kuyena ukuthi bahlanganisa kanjani abafana. How does he manage his squad? He doesn't have a CAF kule season, so uzobe focusa ma competition akhona la league and the cup games. So I think ikulele coach nje when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs, it's the coaching, it's the system. Uyena ngqo ucoach okumele abahlanganise kahle abadlali bakhona ngokwami.
Yeah, and also feel ukuthi Kaizer Chiefs, they need that player in the middle of the park, also boxer leya area. Before you had player like Urenilo Letsolonyane, Sphiwe Shabalala, or amongst those players, Willard Katsandu was good to their position. But manje kwi-Chiefs awazi ukuthi leya area eyaba. Okuzoshia Maglimala, one of the players, khumbula ukuthi noNgcobo, slowly he's losing I position yakhe kwi-team. So then then who do you use? New signing coming in, we'll see uzokwazi ukuthi dominate nakhona. But looking at the DStv Premiership nakhona, very disappointed ngamateam ase KZN. Looking at Richards Bay, isiyona evale lapha emomva. Yini le ngake sishintshile kubona after they did so much well maqala isizini edlule?
That's the thing. Nothing has changed with Richards Bay. I think that's the biggest problem. We are sure this season bayiqala kahle last season, but now we're seeing a trend of them playing exactly how they played in the second half of last season. Ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi bane win eyodwa in 2023. One win in like almost 10 games. Masibheka ama games abadlale kwi league, and that was against Marumo Gallants back in January. So it's not good enough. It really is not good enough. Ifoma bakuyona manje Kaitano Tembo has a huge task on his hand. I think he probably has the toughest job. Masibheka nje ama team akhona like KZN. Uyena ngempela ozoba under pressure, and he has a very tough job of not only galvanizing the players but ukubuyisa confidence yabo. So ngicabanga ukuthi bashayeke kakhulu, ziningi izinto ezenzeka kwi club, losing their captain last season as well. Ngicabanga ukuthi kuningi kakhulu okwenzeka kwi Bay, and that has affected the confidence team. Morale is very low from what I've sensed from them. Indlela abadlala ngayo abahlangene, so coach Tembo nomsebenzi omningi kakhulu kumele awenze, and they would want to try and pick up as early as they can. Ngoba siyazi ukuthi ungayiqalanga kahle isizini uyehla ezantsi, and going back up is very, very hard.
And also new coach coming in kuMaZulu, Royal AM not signing any players. It's also but a tough season for KZN team, and I spoke to Maputi Kanyeza. He did mention ukuthi this season ile season le okumele bawine everything abahlangana nayo. Let's move to M108. First cup of the season, 4 biggest teams, 3 Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, they are in the semis. Singaba kuma semis, Stellies as well in there. Out of those 4 teams, which 2 teams can we expect to reach the finals?
Siyazi ukuthi ukupredict ibhola akukho lula, but I think when it comes to M108 nama semi-final eswabonile, most people can have an idea ukuthi ubani ongafika kwi-final given how the teams have started the season, and also just historically. Stellies yashaya Pirates in the opening game of the season. I think that's going to give them a confidence in Ningi going into imidlalo semi-finals. They also beat SuperSport United in the quarterfinals. Very, very tough team. So yonke leyo nto izoboost confidence yabo. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for the Pirates. They're going to make it as tough as possible, but I do think over 2 legs, I think the Pirates will have the advantage. If it was a game that was 1 leg, a once-off game, I think it would have been a coin toss. It could go either way, but now, given the fact that my legs mabili, I do give the Pirates the edge. Given the fact that they have so many goals from different areas within the Pirates team. As much as the Stellies, they are organized, they're very compact, defend, but I don't see them outscoring the Pirates over 2 legs, and I think that's the key factor. Umasbuga MTN 8 semi-finals, because it's 2 legs, you have to outscore the other team over 2 legs. So angiboni ukuthi Stellies izokwenza lokho, because they would have to stop the Pirates and go forward and score more than Ipagania. And given how the Pirates have started the season, I don't see how the Stellies are going to outscore them. So finally Army will be Pirates. And on the other side, with Sundowns and the Chiefs, nakhona futhi it's the same thing. I don't see how the Chiefs are going to outscore Sundowns. Sibonile game yabo yokuqala kwi-league, Sundowns yawina very late. They left it late. I wouldn't say Chiefs played well in that game. I think Sundowns didn't play well as well. So it wasn't the best game to watch. But given how indlela dlala ngayo mabili ama team, I think Sundowns are still the better team. Chiefs do have a chance. They can upset the Sundowns, but I think over 2 legs it's going to be very difficult, given the fact that Sundowns, and 2 legs is going to be a tough ask. So my MTN 8 final will be Paga and the Sundowns, which I think will be the best game in South African football.
I have a feeling ukuthi after winning their first game, we only MTN 80 Kaizer Chiefs, and also, as you said, the first game between the 2 teams, it wasn't a big score, but it was a 2-1 win for Sundowns. And I think ukuthi now, if the Chiefs ingakwazi once again to work on their confidence and also scoring goals, bangakwazi ukuyikhoza upset. It's a 2-legged game as well. That will give them an opportunity to say, okay, let's go back and see ukuthi amaphutha amaningi siwenze kuphi, and rectify that and go back to face the Mamelodi Sundowns. That kule season I don't see them dominating that much. I'm not saying ukuthi ngeke, but not that much like season esiphuma kuyona. But looking at these 4 teams reaching, as you said, the Pirates or the Sundowns reaching the final as well, ingakanani pressure kulabo coaches about 3 this season?
Ngicabanga ukuthi uma sibheka coach Mgabadeli, I think I'm just going to give you 2 names when it comes to coaches who have a lot of pressure, and that is Coach Molefi Ntseki at Kaizer Chiefs and Urulani Mkwena at Sundowns. I think Ntseki, obviously he's still new within a technical team at Chiefs. Ngicabanga ukuthi iqembu lona lizomnikeza isikhathi so ukuthi adlalise abafana abahlanganise, they learn system yakhe indlela asebenza ngayo, bazomnika leso sikhathi with Chiefs. But inkinga ke manje, it's will the fans give him the time, because siyazi ukuthi Ntseki wasn't first choice according to the fans before qala season. With the departure of Uzwane, Coach Nabi was expected to come in. It didn't happen. Ntseki was announced, so now he's gonna have to try and build something out of the squad now, which is a decent squad. Like I said, the Chiefs has a very decent squad that's capable of challenging and being challenging in competition, especially Guma Cubs, and being up there with the Pirates and the Sundowns. So I think with the Chiefs, it's more of a coaching thing, which is why I think pressure is kakhulu. But there's also Urulani on the other hand. His first full season as a sole coach of Sundowns. Siyazi ukuthi before kwakhona uManqoba no Steve alongside him. Manqoba still there as the assistant, but now he's going to be having his first full season. The last time he had a full season was at Pirates. Things didn't go according to plan for him there. And with the start of his season, it's been shaky in terms of how they are playing, but bawinile ama game up. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Sundowns is going to play, how Urulani is going to do, especially lapha with CAF Champions League. Siyazi ukuthi management is Sundowns very cutthroat. Mabe ngawathanda ama results, You remember last season they changed not only because they were losing, not because they were losing, bashintsha ngoba they weren't convinced of how the team was playing. So umiqhubeka idlala kanje Sundowns, I think angaba nenkinga kakhulu umlungisi and might not even finish the season because that's how cutthroat Sundowns is.
I'm looking at the Sundowns and the pressure njengoba ushebhekene no coach and also looking at the squad sakhe. He did mention that now he's trying ukuthi arrest especially player efana no Themba Mshisho wakazwane ngoba he's planning ukuthi let's just say uyalimala, what then? Because useyazi ukuthi abantu abaningi babheka ukuthi asebenzise umshishi all the time. And also if you look at i-setup yeMamelodi Sundowns nakhona, it's a well balanced team in the middle of the park. Useqala ukugain confidence uZungu ozobonakala naye okuzomela naye ke akwazi ukuthi manje azocompete with other players ekutheni uyakwazi ukuthi anike umlungisi lokudingayo. I-pressure iningi kwi-Sundowns going to i-CAF Champions League as well. Bajwayele ama-supporters ayazi ukuthi we dominate that area i-CAF Champions League. Now we lost the Champions League last season. It's time to deliver manje, but nakhona ngeke kube lula kwi-Sundowns moving out of these teams as well, and looking at ucoach umlungisi, ucoach uMolifi Ntseki kwi-Orlando Pirates. I think ucoach uJose Riviero he's starting to see lento kade efuna ukuyibona kwi-Pirates. He did manage ukuthi abe ne-pre-season ne-squad sakhe esobona yena nakhona players are enjoying themselves now. Uyasho ukuthi as abcoach abaningi mabeyodlala, but players go there and enjoy yourself. So ibonile leyo nto kwi-Orlando Pirates. Even missing a penalty, it wasn't an issue kwi-Pirates. So now you're starting to see lento kade ifaka kwi-team yakhe. But before sivale, looking at the performance yawo wonke lama team and also KZN team, we are in the semi-finals of the MTN 8 nakhona. Are we likely maybe to see, well, not changes per se, but are we likely to see Welumangoba going back by head coach, Norma moving to Kaizer Chiefs?
I think that is the big question this season. Because Coach Mangoba renewed his deal with the Sundowns. I think it's an extra year. I'm not sure.
No, nyaka wodwa lozophela kule season esiyona.
So it's going to be very interesting. Given lento kade sikhuluma ngoRulani, I'm not saying umsebenzi kaRulani is in danger. You know, he has a good team, he has a good squad of players, but there's also that jeopardy yokuthi if izinto zingahambi kahle even a little bit in terms of mabengadlali convincingly going forward, angasabe nenkinga. So what do Sundowns do then? And I do think they have the option of continuity because Coach Mangoba has been there for a very long time. So uma kwenzeka, we're not saying Rulani is going to get fired this season. If kwenzeka, you know, they might opt for continuity or look elsewhere. And there's also the opportunity of Coach Mangoba going elsewhere as well. Ahambe naye. You know, there's also Molefi Ntseki ngala, the pressure that he has at Kaizer Chiefs. It might happen ukuthi naye he might leave. Coach Mangoba might go to Chiefs. Kuningi, there are endless possibilities with PSL ball and squads will predict. But going back to the thing of the pressure, I do think those two clubs and those two coaches have the biggest pressure this season to deliver. Gagwe Chiefs to improve and get closer to the Sundowns. Gagwe Sundowns to deliver as they usually do. And most importantly, Lapa we CAF Champions League. I think it's going to be very key for them to make sure Gutiba compete and ultimately at least reach the final. If they can't win it, Baz would at least bafigile we final and they did better than they did in the last couple of years.
Looking forward to this conversation. Siyabonga kakhulu Nyuswa for joining us namhlanje. I can't wait to hear about EPL and also nale movement yama players to Saudi Arabia. Uma seni discuss no Samuel next week because it seems as if onke ama players aseyakhona uNeymar is the latest player. We'll see ukuthi ngakanani imali abayifakile. Siyabonga kakhulu and also thank you so much KZN for being part of the podcast. Kanjani next week we discussing ama issues EPL and also players movement to Saudi Arabia.